I don't know if this is just part of me being a 90s kid or what, but anytime I'm working on a project, it doesn't feel real to me until I have a domain that's attached to it. And then usually the second thing I want to do once I have a domain attached is I want to be able to send emails. So what we're going to look at today is something that should be easier than it is in 2025. And actually, it's harder than it was 15, 20 years ago. And that's going to be signing up for a domain and setting up a free way to send and receive email with that domain. And so we're going to start off with registering a domain. I'm not going to walk you through the steps to do that. There are tons of web registrars you can use to purchase a name. I tend to use AWS and Route 53, partly because the DNS records are really fast. So like when you make a change, it propagates and is detectable pretty much instantly. And I've had some registrars in the past that it could take hours or, worst case scenario, sometimes days to have a DNS record updated and propagated everywhere that it should. So I've already purchased a domain. I purchased skeezypdf.com as a nod to all the Skeezy PDF malware delivery tools out there. So I've already purchased this. If you are purchasing a domain and you don't know, you just want to have something to play with, something to get to know DNS rules and things like that. Another perk to AWS is that they have a domain that's the .click domain that is only $3 a year. So I've got tons of domains that are .click that I spin up to use for temporary projects. Super cheap. So once you've purchased a domain in Route 53 in AWS, there are going to be some additional setup steps here in a minute. But for now, we're good with this. The other thing we need is the mail account that we want our domain to forward to. And so I have a Gmail account that's bardsec@gmail.com, and we're going to be setting up skeezypdf.com to receive emails that will show up in my bardsec Gmail account. And the way we're going to do that is with a tool called ImprovMX. And MX stands for Mail Exchange, and it's a kind of record that you can put in your DNS records in AWS or wherever your registrar is. And so I've already created an account, so I'm just going to log in. The account creation is very, very simple and standard. You just say create an account and you give it your email address, you verify, and you have an account. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. The way they do sign in is by sending you an email message. So I have to put in my email address, and it will send me a link that I can use to sign in. There we go. So I'm just going to click the link. That'll sign me into ImprovMX. And I've already added this domain here. I'll go ahead and take it away so that we can kind of start from scratch. There we go. So this is what it looks like when you first sign into ImprovMX. And I've written before on my blog about how to use iCloud Plus as a way to receive mail from a custom domain. The problem I ran into with iCloud Plus is that it maxes out at 5 domains. So I'm a little addicted to purchasing domains. And so I've got more than 5 domains that I want to be able to send mail through. And so ImprovMX, if you're doing one domain, it's free. You can do one domain with multiple aliases, so you can send mail to multiple people using that service. Or for $9 a month, you can have, I forget how many, I think closer to 30 domains that you can manage. So once you're in, what you're going to do is we're going to say add domain, and we're going to put in skeezypdf.com, add domain, and we're going to go to settings here and see DNS settings. And we've got 3 records that we need, or technically 2 records that we need to add to our DNS settings. So I'm going to copy this MX record, so Mail Exchange. We're going to go over to skeezypdf. I'm going to create a record, and we're doing this in AWS, but every domain registrar has some feature or function where you can edit or alter DNS records. And so we're going to add this. The second one of these was the same except 20 and 2. And the type of record was an MX record. So we're going to specify the mail servers for that MX record, mx1.improvmx and mx2.improvmx. So those are our two mail servers that we'll be using. So we're going to create these records. Then we're going to hop back over to ImprovMX and grab this SPF record, which is a TXT record, is the type of record SPF records are. We're going to hop over here, create a record, do TXT, add our SPF rule, and create the record. Now, in ImprovMX, we're going to go and we're going to check to see if those settings are updated, and it's updated already. So this is what I was talking about with AWS having that really fast record propagation. I've done this before with other registrars, and I would be coming back 30, 45 minutes later, hitting refresh to see if it had updated yet. So AWS, super quick. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go back to aliases. And at the moment, so I've got this wildcard asterisk star at skeezypdf.com / bardsec@gmail. What that means is right this instant, you could email anything at skeezypdf.com and it would show up in my Gmail account. But we want to be a little bit more specific, and so we're going to add an alias, and we're going to say that it is panda@skeezypdf.com. And I'm going to add that. So now, if I email that address, it's going to show up in my Gmail account. So let me take just a moment. So I'm just going to hop over to another screen real quick and send an email to panda@bardsec. Nope, sorry. I'm getting myself confused. panda@skeezypdf.com. I'm going to say, hey, Panda, how's it going? I got that stuff you asked for and dropped it off. I'm trying to make it not look like it's too spammy, because it would go to the spam and junk, and that would just kind of suck for the demo. So there we go. Send it. And now, with any luck, actually no luck with technology working correctly, we're going to hop over to our Gmail inbox. And I got this notification that it was added successfully. Make sure it's not in spam. Nope, not in spam. And we'll give it just a second, and that message should show up momentarily. There we go. So, message received. If we open up the message, this is the account I sent it from. I sent it to panda@skeezypdf.com, but it's landed here in my inbox in Gmail of my BardSec Gmail account. Cool. So that is how to receive messages at a custom domain. Okay, and so now that we can receive messages at our Gmail, here's a bit of bad news. So if you want to send messages as that custom domain, that actually requires a paid account from ImprovMX, and that goes back to that $9 a month for up to 30 domains that you can create multiple aliases for. So depending on your project, you may need to be able to send messages as that user. If so, you would subscribe to the paid version of ImprovMX, go to Settings in Google, see All Settings, Accounts and Import, and there's a Send Mail As option where you can add another email address. And you would just walk through the steps here of adding that address. And the part that you need the paid function of ImprovMX for is this next step. So to be able to send that mail as that user, you need to have credentials for SMTP for that account in ImprovMX, and they won't provide that for you unless you have a paid account. So in short, that is how you add a mail account for a custom domain.